Hello everyone, welcome to Wine and Real Estate. Bonsoir tout le monde.
Oui, bonsoir.
So we had some technical difficulties this evening. We had to update the app and anyway, now we're on. So we're really excited.
Yes, but we're used to technical difficulties. We work with real estate.
Yes, it seems to be a daily thing. So
yes.
yeah.
So that's okay. When there's technical difficulties, you open a nice bottle of wine. So this is a Sangiovese and it's called Matteo. I've never heard of that before, but anyway, it was on sale at the LCBO, so we wanted to give it a try. So there you go. I poured you a glass and myself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll just take a sip and
Yes.
cheers. So we're really excited. We have a great guest coming on tonight.
Yes.
Michael Eyre, and he's got a great story. I can't wait to hear it. Anyway,
Yes, you've been
quite
telling me tidbits. I can't wait to hear it.
yeah, quite a growth, and I'm very excited to hear how he managed to grow this much. And Mike, I think you need to tap to ask to join our live. So I'm trying to add you, but of course it seems to be this kind of evening. So anyway, technical issues. Mm-hmm. Let's have some wine.
Yes. But that's okay. You have to be flexible when you're
a real estate investor, and I'm sure Mike knows all about it.
Yes, I'm sure we'll hear some of his flexibility stories.
When you renovate, you have issues. When you go through the financing, sometimes it gets tricky, and yeah, it's never perfect. But let me see. I'm gonna see how I can add him.
Okay, perfect.
And
yeah,
maybe
so
I need to make.
Yeah,
there's the request.
It's working with investors, working with just people. You're always having to be flexible and.
Yeah, hopefully you guys can hear us too. We bought a new mic, so I hope the sound is actually better. So, oh, there you go.
Hey, Mike. How's it going?
Yeah,
good evening. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Good. Just having a little drink right now.
Oh,
good.
Yes. What are you drinking tonight?
So I'm not much of a wine guy. I'm still trying to find the one. But I'm drinking Proper 12.
Oh, cool.
So is that a whiskey or?
Yeah, it's a whiskey by Conor McGregor.
Oh.
Nice. EY or just Y?
Pardon?
Whiskey is spelled EY or just Y on this one?
EY.
EY, okay.
Okay, we actually met an investor who is a whiskey connoisseur, and he was talking about the difference between a whiskey with just a Y or an EY, so that's why we asked.
I don't know the difference. But...
yeah, we don't know the difference. So, you want to introduce yourself, Mike?
Yeah, my name is Michael Eyre. I'm 23 years old. I'm a junior to a senior, so my father is also Michael Eyre. And I'm kind of a jack of all trades. I love doing renovations. I love real estate investing into multi-units, rental and flips, and then also the business aspect with like clothing brands and just building up.
Cool. Oh, and now our internet is lagging. Great. So yeah, maybe you need to go tell our son to stop streaming. So I apologize, everybody, and Mike as well. It's one of those nights. Oh, no, actually, Mike left now, so maybe it's not our internet. Anyway, it's a nice evening. We're going to have some more wine. Yeah, so is anybody, do you have questions for Mike? If you want to ask them in the, I guess in the chat. So yeah, it's just been, anyway, one of those days, but that's okay. So as investors, if anybody's an investor here tonight, I see investments. So if you're still on, you know all about challenges and issues. So problems are actually opportunities. So this is an opportunity maybe to do something, upgrade our internet or upgrade my iPhone. We did upgrade this mic, so hopefully.
Yeah, we're starting.
Yeah, the Blue Yeti. It's quite nice. So the sound is really good. The only thing you have to be careful is it really catches all the sounds. So if you're like Jennifer swirling on the tabletop, then it scratches and it's gonna pick it up. But that's okay. It's a learning opportunity.
Yes, there you go. That's perfect. So. Yeah, so I can't wait to speak with Mike. What a young guy who's
23.
already investing in real estate. That's
Can you imagine if we started at 23?
Yes,
where
if we
we'd
had started
be?
at 23, that would be great.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to hear about his story, and I think he does some joint ventures to finance, of course, at 23, unless you're born a millionaire, like it's a growth phase, and same at our age too. Like
yeah, because once you use all your money, then you're working with investors and with partners and JVs, so it's normal.
Yeah,
it's part of the game.
It is, yeah, partners and private lenders. So we're gonna do a series. Well, I will do, and hopefully Jennifer will join me.
Yes.
14 days about passive income, and that will include quite a big focus as well on private lending and what people can do, because it's not for everybody to manage tenants. Like today we had some challenging phone call, challenge / good news. So someone leaving, but also, I mean, it's an opportunity for something else that's not always easy. But yeah, and then sometimes it's hard too. Like you are influencing people's lives, your tenants, you get to know them, and sometimes there's some sad stories and challenges in their lives as well. So I'll see if Mike is back on now. And
yeah, hopefully he's
there he is.
Back on.
So there you go. So yeah, every day is a new challenge, a new discovery, but
yes, and new reasons to drink wine.
Yeah, not too much, with moderation. Or whiskey. I like whiskey too. I just need to discover more, like the whole
It's hard
why.
when you're drinking whiskey by yourself to buy a bottle.
Yeah, it's gonna take me a year to finish it. Usually it goes bad, and I don't think whiskey can go bad.
So you whiskey drinkers will have to tell us a good, I guess, mix or cocktail.
Hey, sorry about that, guys.
That's okay. So it's your turn to have challenges.
Technical difficulties. There you go. When you're talking about how there's challenges in real estate and you have to be flexible. So there you go.
Yeah, exactly. And iPhone, you can sometimes it can be a plus, sometimes it can be a bad thing.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So wow, so you're 23 and you're already investing in real estate. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I'll start it right from the start. I was kind of tired of working part-time jobs and everything. I was working at Walmart at the time, and my dad was like, hey, do you want to go to Alfonso Cuadra's event about entrepreneurship and everything? And I've known Alfonso since I was about 11 or 12.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I've just never been to his events or anything, and I've already had like entrepreneurship in my blood because of my parents. So I said, yeah, like, why not? Like, I'll book it off in advance and everything with Walmart. So I went to go book it off, and my manager was like, no problem. Like, you are good to go. You are given like 2 months notice, this and that. So I believe it was about a week before the weekend event. My manager was like, oh, we actually need you here, Michael. I'm like,
course.
Oh, man.
Of course.
I really want to go.
It started there.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want to let Alfonso down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, like, I'll go to the first day. I'm going to call in sick. I don't advise anyone to do it, but if you believe in your goals, then go for it. So I called in sick, and I went to the event, and my mind just snapped like that. Like, it just changed. Like, man, like, I can get into real estate investing with $0 of my own money, and it can take care of me for the rest of my life with my family.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I called in that night because I was like so pumped, like a lot of adrenaline going through me. I'm like, I'm just calling in sick for the whole weekend. So I had some money saved up in my bank account and everything. So if I got fired because of that, I'd be okay. So I went to the event, and like, I met the most unbelievable people I've ever met in my life. People with 7-figure bank accounts, people that I want to surround myself with, the people that had stuff that I want, taking care of their mothers. My mom is like my heart. Like, I want to retire her in 2 years. And my stepdad, I already told my dad he can't retire because he's my partner.
Bad for him.
Yeah, exactly. So
that would work out very well for him.
Yes, it's working out for him too. So after that weekend, I was on a phone call with my dad, and I was like, I think I want to move to Kingston. And he's like, oh, like, what about your like my mom's side family and work and all that? I said, let's start back up your old business, reselling stuff from China and everything. This was like way post pandemic, so we were safe. Um, so I brought that up to him, and then I said, like, I'll leave my job. I really believe that we can do this. So within like a week, I quit my job, which
Wow.
sounds bad, but I really believed in the bigger goal, and I'm like, someone I can work for someone, but that's just giving them more time off at the end of the day, right? I
Yeah.
need time off with my family and all that too. And then as soon as I didn't get the time off that I booked off in advance, I noticed how much they appreciate my time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, yeah. I'm
yeah,
sure the
so
attitude changed quite a bit.
yeah, exactly. And so I moved to Kingston. I packed up my car. I had to do 2 trips because I had a lot of stuff, but I moved to Kingston. Beautiful city. I love Kingston.
It is
Uh,
nice.
very, very. And like I met a lot of great people there. But the people that I met at that event, I stayed in more contact because like I wanted to know how they got to their first $1 million. I wanted to know how to get a property with zero of my own dollars because that sounds great to everyone. Uh,
Yeah.
Sometimes too great. Like my friends were asking me, like, "Is that illegal, Mike? Like, are you doing something illegal or whatever?"
Yeah, it sounds illegal at first
Yeah,
when you're just getting started. You're like, other people's money? Are you stealing? What's
yeah.
wrong?
Is it fraud? Like, I thought you needed your real estate license to buy properties and this and that. Yeah. Um, so I moved to Kingston, and my dad and I, like, we really focused on growing his bracelet or his business. We started selling like mosquito bracelets in the summer. I was starting to call myself the Wolf of Mosquito Bracelets because I was selling so many of them. um, and like it was just very good because my mom and my dad split up when I was 2. So it was nice to kind of have that bond back with my dad, and we're like growing something together, and
Yeah.
we have the same mindset, like what we want in life. Um, and I have my dad and my mom at like the tip of my hands. Like if I need a answer to a business question, they've been through it. Maybe not with real estate, so I reach out to Alfonso because he's
But
my
business.
mentor. Pardon?
But business in general. Yeah, just
Yeah,
business acumen and understanding that. That's great.
yeah. And then so like we worked hard and everything. I'm like, man, I'm probably gonna get my first building in 2022, and this was in 2019. I'm
Mm.
like, oh, like it's gonna take a while to get my first property is the mindset that I had. But my dad and I, with our JV partners, we closed on a fourplex in Mallorytown, December 6th, 2019.
Wow.
Wow.
Then yeah, and then like we just like we were so excited, we just started looking at everything, like because we would always focus on one deal, but as soon as that deal would like get kind of thrown away, we'd be kind of like sad. I know I'd be more sad because I'm like, oh, like we were so close to another one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so we slowly just started looking at multiple deals and everything. And then we came across, I believe it was again in Aquay, the fourplex. We came across that one first, I believe, in around 2019 near the end of December. And we just started looking into the deal more, asking questions to the seller. And then he's like, "Oh, I also got a 10plex for sale in
Nice.
Lansdowne." I'm like,
That's when it gets
"Perfect.
interesting.
Yeah. How much do you want for that one?" And then he was like, "Oh, here's the price." And then, of course, we did our diligence and went and looked at the property and made sure everything was okay and stuff. Um, for that one, it was a lot of back and forth because
Yeah.
there's like a bunch of different things. The 10 unit was an old schoolhouse,
Oh,
so that was really interesting and everything. Um, and so we closed on the Gannon Aquay one August, I believe it was August 2nd of 2020. And
Oh.
for some reason, we had to close on the Lansdowne deal at the end of August because they're like, it's too much. We can't do it all on one day. So we're like, dang, okay, let's close it at the end of August. So we picked up those two properties in August of 2020. I'm like, okay, like now this is for real. I'm like,
Yeah,
we
you're all
got
in.
we got three properties in under a year. I'm like, how much more can we go in 2020 during a pandemic? I'm
Yeah.
like, because things are kind of looking scary. But we noticed there's a lot of things for sale, and it was kind of hard because we don't usually like to overpay. We always have a rule that we want to stay under 100 grand per door,
Yeah.
and more or less 75,000 and under. That's kind of like our comfort spot. And so there's just all these bid-in wars, and it was just a big headache. And then, of course, realtors are wanted to get the top dollar and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Get the top commission and stuff too. Um, but one day I was just scrolling on my computer looking for multi-units in Brockville because that's where I was born and grew up for 11 years of my life. So I'm like, I really want to buy something in my hometown just so that I could, when I'm visiting my hometown, I can drive by and be like, damn, like I own that. With of course,
Yeah.
and so I was just scrolling through realtor.ca and I noticed that there was a single family house for sale in Brockville and it was $89,000. I'm like, what? I'm like,
Nice.
yeah. I'm like, houses in Brockville are selling for like 300,000 plus. So
Yeah.
I sent a message to my dad real quick and some JV partners that I figured that I'd probably be interested in coming in on a rental and flip. And then we scooped it up. And now after ARV, it's going to be about 300,000, but we think
Whoa, that's
350, which is very nice.
yeah.
Awesome.
How much did you have to put in? Like repairs, obviously it needed some work, but wow.
It's going to need a lot of work. So to kind of go more into that one because it's my first single family house.
Yeah, you started big and then you scaled down. That's funny.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But there's big profit in small, like that's
That's
a nice profit margin. So that's good.
yes. I always told myself like I wanna have multi units just because I feel more safe with multi units.
Yeah.
If people are moving from the big city, which I predict they are gonna be very soon.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna be there because we buy all the multi units outside of the big cities. So when someone can't afford their $4,200 a month condo, they might move down to Lansdowne and pay for a 3-bedroom apartment for 1,500.
Yeah, it's way nicer, way more affordable. And there's still internet and Lansdowne and services, so
Yeah. But with this house deal, so it was kind of interesting because there's a bunch of different things that goes with it. When I got my first multi-unit, they kind of considered that as my first time home buyer,
oh cool.
even though it was a multi-unit.
Okay.
So I didn't get the deal of 5% down or whatever on the single family house, but we're not passing up on it. It's a really good deal. And the only problem was that there was tenants that are living in there. I'm not going to mention any names or anything or where it is in Brockville.
Yeah.
But the tenants are called professional renters because, of course, you have some of those tenants that are like buddies with the tenant board. And I hate talking down on people, but we were gonna do the N12 where I move into the building, as I was gonna presume to live in there for a year while I reno it and everything. But then we gave them the offer of the N11, and we'll give them some extra cash on top because we knew their situation. Like they're on like ODSP and everything, and like it was just really rough. Like it was hard for me as a person to do the tour of that house just because of their living condition and all the young kids and everything. It was just very hard to see. So we went there and we offered them the N11 and everything. We explained the whole N11 process and the N12. And it went really good until the end where she slammed the door in our face. But and we served it on December 31st. So it was kind of hard serving them that paper
To start
in
the year.
the new year.
But they were starting the new year with some money and an opportunity to move to a better place.
Yeah.
Probably in rough shape if it was that cheap,
Yeah,
which is not very safe with young kids. So anyway, they just don't see it the same way. So
exactly. And my dad and I, we'd rather give them the N11, give them that option and the money, and help them
yeah,
out. We'll even help them move. I might not just touch any of their stuff, but I don't have a problem helping them move at all. Like we'll pay that too.
pay movers.
And we even give them good references and stuff too.
Wow.
So they didn't call us back that day. We gave them till the end of the day to call us back because she had to wait for her daughter to come home and everything and talk about it. And we just never heard anything back. No text messages or anything. They still sent us the rent money for January. And then 4 days after my birthday, January 5th, so on January 9th, I got a text message back asking to explain the N11 to them again. So, of course, I'm going to explain it to them again because that's what I want them to sign.
Yeah.
So I called them back and we started chatting about the N11 and everything. Apparently, at the new place that they were going, they needed to have a deposit with their application,
Okay.
which is illegal.
Yeah, that's a bit strange. Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
ask.
So
In some provinces you can, but not here. So
yeah, and I never knew that until my dad explained it to me. So it's a good thing that I never asked for a deposit with an application. But so we started talking to them, started talking to the new landlord because half the family already moved out. So it was just the other half that needed to move out. But the mother was having problems with the landlord, with the deposit and all that. So we chatted to the landlord. We got everything figured out, and then they signed the N11, which was perfect. I had a celebration drink.
yes, good job. Wow.
Sorry, you go ahead.
Oh no, good job. That's great that you managed to get the N11 and all that.
Yeah, all signed and.
Yeah, as soon as I get it back, I'm framing it on the wall because that's my first N11.
Yeah.
But if anyone's wondering why we wanted the N11 signed, it's because if we would have proceeded with the N12, then I would have had to live in it for a year before we could even sell it. And of course, we want to rental and flip it, right? Mm-hmm. So we were helping them, and they were helping us by doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, if you wanted to rent it out as well, let's say you did not flip it, then technically they can move back in at the previous rent after the renovations.
Yes.
But N11 is, it's over.
It's just a termination, yes.
Yeah.
N11 is like my baby.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Frame it because they're hard to get.
Yes, for sure.
So now you're doing this full time, Mike?
So kinda. I was working at a call center from home while this year while we were doing everything. Right now we're in a big renovation at the 10 unit. We only have about 3 of the 10 tenants there now. There were some bad apples in that basket, so we had to pay out a couple of those bad apples to move. But we gave them money to get a better place and everything. And of course, references too for some of them. Some of them were busting down doors and everything, so not really a good reference for them. But right now, I'm not working just because I decided that I want to do this more, and I also might be moving, so. Just in the kind of middle of everything, but right now focusing on the big renovations at the 10 unit, and then we're going to be moving on to the single family house March 1st. So we're going to be kind of having a lot on our plate.
Yeah.
And also we're doing Gamma and Aquay.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
So
a great market. Lots going on out there.
Yes, lots of renovations. And I would say Lansdowne is probably my favorite property because of the land. We got a really good deal on it. But with the land, we can probably put another 12 to 48 units on there if we want to.
Okay.
Yeah, if we want to build on it. It's already flat. It's pretty much ready to go. So
Wow. That's
great.
what you always want to look for in deals is where can you add value
Get a lift.
like this, like get the lift. You could even maybe sever land or whatever, but building yourself is, it's a much higher return on
For
your
sure.
investment.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since like we picked it up at a good price, especially since it was a package deal. We like it's just going to increase way in value. Like if it's valued at 100,000 a door, we're already at $1 million with the 10 units, and then to add on the 12 to 48 units, it's just going to be mind blown.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So you sound like you're pretty hands-on. Do you actually like physically do the rentals yourself?
I love destroying all this stuff.
Demo's great.
Yeah, especially at the single family house. Like I've been itching. Like the time is just ticking down. March 1st, they move out. Hopefully everything goes to plan and they move out March 1st, or we're gonna have poachers. But hopefully they move out March 1st. I think they will.
Yeah.
But I honestly can't wait to get in there and start destroying things.
Yeah.
Hands-on, I can do drywall, I can paint, I've learned how to do flooring and everything. So I'm anytime that I go there and there's a contractor there, I always love to learn. I'm a very visual learner. So I love seeing the floor going in. I love seeing the trim. Like I'm all in there. I'm probably bugging them, but they love it too because they get to show off, right? So
Yeah, those are great skills to learn, especially in the market today, because I'm sure, as you know, it's so hard to get hold of a good contractor. So if you can get some of those things done by yourself,
Then
and you have the time to do it, you're basically paying yourself. So
yeah,
for sure. And I'm saving costs, right? Like I can be paying people to come demo the house, or I can just do it myself.
yes,
yeah,
and then get out all those frustrations with those bad apples.
yes.
Yes, exactly. Or when I'm sure you guys love it when offer gets rejected and stuff. So
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Or when the deal goes south, it's kind of it's frustrating. You know, you always get excited about the deal, you want it to work out, and then it just sometimes 1 + 1 just doesn't add up.
You want to smash some piles with a sledgehammer. That's a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our kids love demo as well.
Yes.
Yeah. I bet it's a fun activity. Like if anything, like I've always focused on one deal, and it was a very bad habit, and I became like emotionally attached to it. Like I'd be like, oh, that's where I grew up. Like part of my life, I want to buy that building there because it's cool, and I can employ some of my friends to property manage it. Of course, the good friends.
Yes.
But now, like, if there's a deal that doesn't work out, it's just whatever. Like, it cannot work out because the realtor's not getting back to you. I've had a lot of that because I'm young. I'm 23 now. They don't think that I can finance it. But I love OPM because it's not my own money, and I'm good with talking to people and getting things done.
Yeah, tell us more about OPM. So how, because I mean, at 23, that's positive. I mean, you got lots of energy, but then when people see you, they don't take you as seriously, which is a shame. But anyway, that's...
So how do you get over those hurdles and work with people with the OPM?
Yeah.
So sometimes it is a struggle, right? Because I'm 23, and some people have the perception that I should be like nice and clean shaved, or I should have like a very nice vehicle, or whatever it may be. But it's those same people that thought that I couldn't get a property with zero of my own dollars, and I got 4 properties within a year of real estate investing with $0.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just the people that doubt, that don't really, I can't really attract, right? I can't sell myself more than I already sold myself, right? So
Yeah.
No,
if I can't get the OPM from them, it's the exact same thing that I do with the deal. I just close the door and I move to the next person that
Yeah.
knows how I work, and I can attract the OPM, and I bring good deals. Like if it's like 1,500,000 for a 10 unit, I don't even look at it. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Because we play by our rules, right? That we set out. So if it just doesn't make sense, even though it cash flows, it doesn't make sense to us to proceed it.
yeah. No, because you have to buy right. That's like really important. We have a
Mhm.
question from Michelle Mans. She's
Yeah.
asking, are the property yours? So I guess in your name, or is it a corporation?
You could be
I assume.
like you could be a beneficial owner in a JV or
Or do
maybe
you
just
manage
explain
them?
that.
So with all the properties, I'm a JV partner. So how it's explained, we're the working partners, my dad and I, because we go out and find the deals. I kind of look at it like the hunters. We're very strong. We're going out there, we're hunting down the deal, we're bringing back the food to the table and everything. And then we get our reward, which is our percentage and ownership of the properties. Um, with the rental and flip, it's kind of the exact same thing. We have a percentage for finding the deal, and then when we sell it, we get that percentage. Uh,
Cool.
and that's how it works. And then for the other 50%, it would go to, of course, the people that put the money into it and everything.
Yeah, qualify for the loan
Yeah,
if it's residential, or the 10plex, that's a commercial loan. You still
yeah,
needed someone to sign. Someone needs to sign the mortgage somewhere. So
Yeah.
that's
exactly.
what we do as well. We go 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Unless our partners, sometimes they don't want cash flow, like they want more
Yeah,
equity. I'm sure you've experienced that, like high income earners, they don't want that money in their pocket because it gets taxed right now. So they want to wait till a
yeah.
year when
Mm-hmm.
they make less, they're retired or whatever. So cool.
It's
So
kind of custom made for each person.
Yes.
yeah, kind of going back to it when I mentioned that. So the 4 unit in Mallorytown was my first property in my name. So I would have got, I guess, the first time home buyer, even though I don't think I did. And then when I was
Yeah.
at the lawyers for the single family house, they said that I did, and I didn't qualify for the first time home buyer on a single family house, which I found really weird. Yeah, but I'm like, whatever, we're still gonna do the deal. We still want to obviously go
Bye.
through with
So,
it. Yeah, so I have that one in my name. And then the other ones, of course, is just an agreement with the JV partners and everything. But eventually, I'm starting the LLC and all that too, because I want
yeah.
to have all of that in an LLC rather than my personal name.
Absolutely. And don't say it's just that. That's quite an accomplishment. When
Yeah.
we were 23, we owned this many properties. So, and JV or not, like we had child number one on the way. Shallow, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, child number one
He
on
was
the
born
way.
when we were 23.
He was born, yeah, when we were 23, and number two soon. But that's it. We were
We were in
renting an apartment.
apartments.
You would have been
I
in your
even,
10plex. There you go.
well, I appreciate it. I even feel like I'm getting like too old because like we have right now a 21-year-old in our private Facebook group for our investors and everything, and he's 21, closing soon on an 11 plex. He's getting
Nice.
all the funding and stuff. I'm like, welcome to the 21 club, because I was also 21 when I got my first property. But when I went to Alfonso's event in 2020 in March, before the whole pandemic and everything.
Just before.
Yeah, before our eyes. I met this 16-year-old, and like he just blew me right away, like with his business ideas and just his drive and everything. I'm like, when I was 16, I had a drive. I was reselling sneakers and everything from my locker at school. I'd go meet people at lunch to sell them sneakers. And things like that. But like his mindset was just crazy. I wish I had his mindset when I was 16, because he's definitely gonna be a millionaire for sure. Like just his ideas and his plans, and he has the same plans. He wants to retire his mom and everything like that. So
Oh,
when people kind of look down upon younger generations and everything, it's really those people that are going to be forming the future, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's some things that my sisters, because I'm the oldest kid out of all the siblings I have.
How many
And
do you
like,
have?
I have a lot. I have like a lot, like
Okay.
9 or 10 off the top of my head. On my
Oh,
side.
okay.
And,
A big family.
yeah, very big family. So, like they'll be like, "Oh, have you heard about this app for networking?" And I'm like, "I didn't have a clue." And I'm only 23, so they're making me feel old.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like you should network on it. It's like the coolest app right now and everything. I'm like, perfect, downloaded.
So what app is it? I'm curious. I'm 40, so I have to
Yeah,
stay with the time.
it was Clubhouse.
Oh yeah, I love
yes.
Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I didn't even know about it, and then they mentioned it to me, so I signed up, and then it's like you need an invite. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
An invite to an app? That's stupid. And then one of my stepsister there, she sent me an invite to it, so I was like, oh, okay, cool. And like that app is amazing. Like it is underrated as hell
Yes.
because like when I mentioned about meeting the people at the event and everything, I have that same feeling about meeting people on Clubhouse because I'm going to be pursuing my realtor's license. So I met a lot of realtors on there and they were giving me tips and everything.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, people are very generous with the information, and it's like a true Clubhouse. Normally, like at
Yep.
country club or something, normally it's by invitation, so you
Oh,
need
yeah,
to
I
be
guess that's fine.
sponsored, and it does say sponsored,
Okay.
I think, when you accept. So it's the same concept, but that's fun. Yeah,
Smart.
great value. I enjoy it. Yeah, and everything is live, like nothing's recorded, which is very different.
And it's fun too. Like a big inspiration to me is Grant Cardone. As you can see, I'm wearing the 10X. He's a big inspiration because I want to be at that point with the private jet and the private helicopter and all that fun stuff and try to write it off like he did.
Yeah,
but
you can write off like Teslas. Yeah, I know people. Yeah, brand new cars and stuff. And no, it's
receipts.
if it's
I keep
structured.
all my receipts.
Yeah.
So you spoke a bit about retiring your mom and about the jet. What is that your why? What's your why, Mike?
Yeah, that's a good question. So there's a lot of things. Not a lot of people know I'm a huge mental health advocate. Like I love talking about mental health. I love being there for people and everything. And I just don't think it's talked about that much.
No, it's very taboo still. Even like it's getting better with Bell and their campaign slowly, but it's only in the past few years. So.
Yeah.
Exactly. And one thing too, so I love Bell for doing that. There's just one thing like, so they'll put out the whole Bell Let's Talk Day and everything, and people will talk about it that day. But then say a week after, I don't see anyone posting about mental health.
No, it goes.
Yeah, I'll see a couple of my friends that are very big on mental health because they do struggle with it. But I made it a goal this year that I'm going to post at least 10 pieces of content a week about mental health across all my social medias.
Wow.
Yeah, just because I feel like, especially now, a lot of people are dealing with it.
Yeah.
Bringing back my why, it'd be like, I want to get financial freedom, to have more time to go to schools, talk about mental health, to retire my mom, to look at more deals when I'm in like Costa Rica or something.
Yes.
Closing deals in Costa Rica.
From your chopper, you're buying swipe.
Exactly. And I've been single for about 5 years now. So just having that much time, I just love it. So I'm getting to the freedom part. But my why is to retire my mom, make sure that she has a good rest of her life while she's here. She's still young, so I don't have any fear of her going soon. But to retire her, to talk more about mental health, and also teach a younger generation, like, hey, you can grow financial freedom, generational wealth while you're young. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Yes, not when you're 40 or 50 or 60. You
exactly,
can do it way before. Yeah.
exactly. Like, throw it back to when I was in high school in grade 10, I did a careers project about becoming a realtor. It was like the best project I've ever done in my life. And I wish I would have kept it. But I was kind of sick of that class. Like, it was giving me a headache, so I just left it there. But it's funny how things kind of pan out. Like, I did a project on becoming a realtor agent, and then going into real estate investing, and then pursuing my realtor's license. So I did kind of manifestation. A lot of people don't really believe in it, but I honestly said, like, to my dad, hey, I want to get 50 units this year in 2021. And then we kind of raised it to 100 units, but I'll tell you why. After I told him on the phone that, I was doing Realtor Dossier, looking for properties. I think I probably have all the streets memorized because of how many properties I looked at. So I make YouTube videos and stuff too, and I have my own podcast. So I was looking up multi-unit pictures for thumbnails and stuff, and I came across this big building. I typed in like 50 unit on Google Images. I'm taking a look at it.
And you know it.
I'm like, hey, that's in Windsor and it's for sale. I'm like, let's open it up. Screw the thumbnail. I want to see this deal. And so if that deal would have worked out, I would have already crushed my 2021 goal within the first quarter of 2021. Wow. So I'm like, my dad, let's go at 100 doors. And he was all on board. And when we had a group call with all the other investors, they all had the same goal of 100 doors. And I really tried to get that 50 unit. I was calling the realtor constantly. I was sending him emails constantly. No response back. So if I would have just like kept going, I would have just dug myself in a hole, and it'd probably be a month past. So I'm like, that deal, obviously they don't want to sell it.
No, and sometimes I found some bigger commercial deals, it's like relationships as well. It's a bit odd, but they do list it, but it's really, they're expecting some people to call them. It's very strange. We've had this thing. And you can tell they have a specific buyer in mind, and if it's not that person.
Like if you don't fit the bill, it's just over.
Yeah, it's weird. It's over even if before it even began. So it's not meant to be. But now instead of 50, you'll get 500 doors. So 10x, there you go.
And the thing too is like, and to add on to that, guys, like when I go to some big properties, they want me to sign a paper knowing that I have the financing and everything. Yeah. And that's probably because I'm young. I look young. And they were like, oh, I'm not too sure. But when I tell them like, hey, like 4 properties in under a year, they're like, how? And I just go, $0 of my own money. And they're like, no way. Same with a couple of my friends. I love it. I don't really like to brag, but when it comes to winning, I think you should celebrate your winnings and celebrate your loss. I will still toast to a loss because it wasn't meant to be. It's kind of closing the door.
You're closer to a yes, I mean.
Yeah, not so.
Why? Starts with a Y. Closer to a yes.
And I had these two good friends. I won't mention their names either in case if they're watching or anything. But they always kind of just doubted. Like as soon as I said, "Oh, like I want to get into real estate. I want to try to get a building. Like I think I can do it, but I don't know if I can do it right now until 2022." And they're like, "Oh, there's no way. Like, how are you gonna do it? You work at Walmart." I'm like, I agree. I agree. I work at Walmart.
Spot to be though, because if let's say you had the money but you're a little bit short, you're actually not as confident because you got kind of more to lose. So that's the best spot when you have no money. You get more resourceeful. It's crazy. If you have money, you get lazy. I can use my line of credit, but here, like you had nothing, so you go all out.
And I was like, how am I going to do this? Like, maybe my friends are right. Maybe I'm wasting my time, right? Because like I always listen to other people's opinion. But now I'm kind of like, it's either gonna happen or it's not. I don't care.
Yeah.
Either way, it's gonna happen. Something's
You
gonna
can still
happen.
learn.
Yeah. So I went to Alfonso's event and I learned everything. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna work in silence. I'm not gonna tell anyone. I'm not gonna post anything. I'm just gonna wait until I close the deal.
Mm.
So I got it, the first one in Mallory Town, and they're like, no way, like, are you doing something illegal? Like, how did you get a building for like
Money
200,000?
laundering.
I'm like, OPM, OPT, and
OPC or
OPC, other people's credit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the
And
OPT? I
Other
forget.
people's time.
other
Time.
people's time.
Yeah. Mhm.
And they're like, no way you can do it a second time. So I went bigger. I got 2 for the second time. And then they're like, okay, like, how are you doing it? Like, teach us. And like, I have no problem teaching people, right? Because I want people to learn. I want those people to also seek financial freedom and achieve their goals too, right? Even if they doubted me, because hey, if they win, awesome. There's a lot of money to go around. There's a lot of
Oh yeah.
things to go around. There's a lot of deals, right?
Yeah.
But 91% of Canadians don't have enough money to retire, so it's very scary. And we have to teach people to well, not save, but to grow wealth, because it's not going to happen through RSPs and retirement funds.
No.
Yeah, and like people are always like, "Oh, are you afraid of competition, this or that?" No, it helps everyone build, right? If I see my friend get a building, congrats. Like, no
Yeah.
competition. I'm gonna bring the proper 12 over, and we're gonna celebrate.
Yes. That's
But
great. That's often the case, I find, in the real estate investing community, because it's kind of fun to cheer on other people, and they're celebrating you when you have your success, and then you're going to celebrate them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like every time, like our private investor group is amazing. Like, yeah, there's about 80 people in the group, and like I even learned so much from them. Like, I don't think college could ever teach me that. I've never went to college. I think if I had 20 grand, I'd rather go buy another building.
Yeah.
It's just my mindset. I'm like, because the way that I see it, I kind of find school, it's always about obeying someone that's higher than you. So you're kind of just still in that rat race, going around and going around. Of course, I applaud people that go to college and get their like doctor's course and all that, because I don't think I would want a random person operating on my stomach for a surgery or something.
I'm getting experience. Let's cut this here.
Yeah. So just with that, like, I think self-education is the best. And like, I learned so much from this private group. Like, people are posting like, oh, we just did the flooring in this house, or oh, we just acquired this 20 unit, or who wants in on this deal, or you know what I mean? Who can be a mortgage qualifier? And it could be an easy pickup for someone to start their portfolio.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so great. So what would you say would be your best tip for people that are thinking about real estate investing?
Best tip. I'm gonna go back to I was 21 and I didn't really know anything. I'd say self-education. I'd say self-education. Take a look at the 5 closest friends that you have. Just be blunt with them. Ask them what their net worth is. When I ask them, they're like $0. We don't own anything. Our parents bought our car, or we still live with our parents, or this or that. And then I took a look at my net worth. I'm like, I have my car, even though it's not an asset. Your car is not an asset. It's a liability, 100%. And so I was like looking, and I had the first building. So I took my net worth of that. I'm like, I'm the only one with the net worth. I'm like, my 5 friends, even though they're my 5 best friends, they're not bringing me any value. And I'm sorry, best friends, if you hear that, but it's true. So I surrounded myself with 5 millionaires, 5 people that have over $2 million in RSP money, or just in money and properties alone. And like, I learned so much from them, books to read to grow your mindset, this and that. And things just keep getting more attracted. Now we're working on multiple different deals, and even if some don't go through, there's always one that might.
Yes.
So if there's anything, I would just say self-education. Take a look at the people that you're surrounded by. Sometimes don't always listen to your mother and your father because they'll say some good things, but sometimes they sugarcoat things.
Yeah.
I love my mom to death. She told me to get a duplex so that you can live in one side free and the other side pays. But here's the thing: if you're charging $1,600 a month and the mortgage is $1,400, you have $200 or whatever, saving every month for repairs and all that. But if that person moves out and it's vacant for 5 months, then you're paying for it.
Yeah.
So once I changed that mindset from going to Alfonso's event, I'm like, nothing lower than a fourplex. A fourplex is kind of the nice, comfy area. And then the higher up is the better. You're sleeping like a king or a queen.
Yeah, for sure.
That's so true. So how can people get a hold of you if they want to find out more about what you're doing? And
So they can reach out to me on the Entrepreneur Cast that you guys have been promoting and everything too. And then my personal Instagram that I'm on right now at Eyre19. And if they message me, I have no problem sending them business cards or whatever. They can find me there, or they can even text me. And go from there. I'd love to teach. So
Awesome.
that's awesome. That's great.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you
so
so much.
inspiring, yeah.
Yeah, it
Of
is.
course.
For like 23, it's still unbelievable. When I saw you with Mandy Brenham, I'm like, we have to talk to this guy.
I love
Very
Mandy.
inspiring.
I love Mandy for the fact that I met her in Kingston, and she gave me very valuable lessons. And like, she did her presentation, and then she had one-on-ones with everyone.
Wow.
I came up to her, and we had a really good chat and everything. And it just like, I'm like, okay, like, I'm looking at it from a different perspective now with Mandy, because like I've learned a lot from Alfonso Quadra. That's where I learned everything about real estate. And then I learned from Mandy, and like, I just love Mandy's attitude. She just doesn't care.
No
She
nonsense.
cares, but she doesn't care like what anyone says. And I'm like that too. People used to be so judgmental in school and high school, and it kind of like hit me, but I would just fling it off now. If anyone says anything, I'm just like, whatever. Like, I'm keep going to my goals, and hopefully I'll see you there at the end. But I'm going to things that are more valuable, and that's going to give me a more better return on my time at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so important. Not caring what others think. I totally agree. We're kind of known for that.
Yeah.
So we don't. I mean, it's, of course, yes, you want to be careful. You don't want to hurt people, but
For sure.
yeah, don't listen to others. Like all the naysayers, you're gonna find a million of
A
those.
lot.
The positive ones are hard to find, but when you
Yeah.
find them, like you said, that was very wise. You need to be surrounded by those wise and smart people. The high net worth,
Yeah.
of course. Usually, you want people to have more money than you, so
For
and
sure.
more advanced. And that way, you grow
More
to a bigger
OPM.
scale. And
Yeah.
so that's excellent. Wow, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Yeah, you
Do
guys.
you have one like parting words or a little piece of advice you want to share, or?
Even though this board says dream, I love this board, but dreams are things that you forget about. I would say always go after your goals. I always believe in goals over dreams. Just because your goals, you're gonna write them down, you're gonna put them on your whiteboard, you're gonna really remember them. I have my goals in my phone, I have them in multiple books, I have them on my whiteboard. Dreams, you honestly just forget about them. I'm always like, oh, I'm dreaming I will own a Ferrari one day.
Yeah.
And then like a week later, I want an SUV. A goal, retiring my mom. I'm working towards that, and buying her a car eventually, hopefully next year. But those are things that I wrote down and that are coming true. So if I can say anything, I would say self-education and always goals over dreams, because I'm a strong believer in manifestation, and goals are manifestation.
Yeah, because you have to put the steps in place and how do I get to it, and
Exactly.
the work back plan, of course. If it's just a dream, it's so far, it's almost beyond your reach.
Yeah.
That's very smart.
And another thing to touch on that, people are always like, shoot for the moon or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Well, Elon Musk is not shooting for the moon. His
No.
goal is to go to Mars. You know what I mean? And he said his goal is to go to Mars. So he's set in something that's not like maple belief or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
People will say shoot for the moon, right? It's like, okay, like how am I gonna get there, or you know what I mean, or if I'm gonna get there. Elon Musk is like, I'm sending people to Mars by 2023 or whatever. People are going to Mars. So it's his plan, right? It's his goal, and he's another person that I look up to because he's benefiting the world in tons of different ways.
Yeah, just pushing the boundaries and really pushing us to look at things differently. Even if we achieve a quarter of what he's saying, that's already insane. So.
Exactly. But if anything, just believe in your goals, believe in yourself, and self-education, because I would much rather learn from the people that have already done it than learn from someone in school that is like a gym teacher teaching math or something. That's the way that I look at it. I don't know if that's rude, but I'd rather learn from someone that has already done it, that I know that's not going to waste my time and that they have what I want in life.
Yeah, that's so true.
No, learn right from the source. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Wow, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. Time flies. It's crazy.
You guys also, and like I said, I have a podcast too, so you never know when I have some time, I'll have to have you guys on because I want to learn a lot more about you guys also.
Yeah, we'd love to chat and send us a message, invite us, and we love sharing our story, but we actually enjoy really learning about others and what they're doing. And it's excellent, especially young people or people with challenging backgrounds, or I like to see
overcomers.
Overcomers. So it's nice when people are like born rich, but I like those that are kind of struggled a bit, and it's more exciting.
I was definitely not born rich, but I want to help the people that weren't really get there and create generational wealth beyond them, because there's a lot of money to go around, and might as well create it, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Great. Well, until the next time.
Cheers.
Yes. Salud.
Salud. Have a good evening.
You guys too.
And stay in touch. We'll have to get an update when you have your
50 units.
No, yes. 100. When you get your 100 doors, send us a message, and that's coming soon.
But that real estate agent, he's gonna call him and to apologize, and he'll have his 50 units.
Yes.
you guys are just gonna make me work harder now. I'm already opening the laptop and everything.
Yeah, get on it.
Get to work.
I'm gonna send you guys some pictures of the single family house too, so that you guys have an idea of what it looks like inside right now.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, I love that.
We love before and after. We have a project in Detroit that we're working on right now, and it's totally trashed, and I just loved it. Love it. The guy said, "Don't worry." I'm like, "No, I'm not worried. Keep showing me all this stuff," and then the before and after will just be amazing.
Even better. Yes.
Yeah, you can put your hands over the walls, and anyway, it's gonna be fun.
That's something that I'm gonna message you guys about, because I heard you guys talking about that before, buying in another country, and that's something that I want to know about. So I'll definitely message you guys about that too.
It's a lot of fun. Detroit, and I was looking at Curacao, Dominican Republic, and now Mexico. I saw a guy who deals in Mexico, so. We will need those planes and those choppers to get there and go from deal to deal. So.
Exactly. And one more thing too. I know I mentioned that my dad can't retire because he's pretty much my partner in crime. The reason he can't retire is because him and I both have a goal that we want to buy a house side by side in Cuba. So
nice.
He's working until he can get it. So.
Oh, there you go. That's motivation.
So make sure it takes a little bit of time, like a few years, so you can accumulate some doors.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I love being on your guys' show, and and I'll definitely stay in touch and everything.
Great. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. Take care.
Cheers.
Bye. Good night, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the chat, and we will be sharing it on our podcast very shortly. Take care.